When you get creative, you get remembered, don't you? And you remember things that are kind of it's like, oh, that's cool and creative. And whether you can think of one right now or you remember remembering one, you know that those things stand out as opposed to the thousands of other things that you see, whether it's you're driving down the road or a magazine or a newspaper online or an email, that you don't remember most things. So what do you do to get remembered? What's some cute, creative little things that you can do to get remembered? So here's what we do when we're sending emails. So when you're talking creative contact and when we're talking remarketing specifically, you know that we might have different kinds of groups of people that we go to. So when we are creating a little email advertising, we're going to create it in the appropriate folder. And like a generic piece of advertising, let's say that one that looks like it's clearly been designed. One of the problems with having something that's clearly been designed and it looks nice and it probably took you a lot of time, energy, and effort to figure out, it took you time away from what you should have been doing, all these different things, is that we've found, it's been our experience, that it gets lower response rates than something that's just mostly text, something that's very short, something that looks like it actually came from a person rather than a design studio. And that's one of the reasons that we don't like those templates. You see on all these different softwares that you can get for different things. It's like, oh, choose all these gorgeous templates or all these wonderful newsletter formats. No, don't do that. We found that, it's hard to make them look good. And whether they look good or not, people think that it's just manufactured for everybody and not for them. Like, I made the cardinal mistake myself. A few months ago, we were having an open house and I had something designed and put it into email and sent it out and then followed up with a phone call. And I had a number of people said, oh, you know what, I wasn't going to go to that because I thought it was just for everybody. And I wasn't going to respond. But now that you've called, it's like it's the same thing when if they would have received something that looked like it was just like a quick typewritten something from me to them, they probably would have been more likely to say yes than if they received something that was clearly manufactured for everybody. Does that make sense? So what we found over the last bunch of years is we dump all that manufactured crap unless it's some printing, something that we really need to send out. But for emails, we get the better response when it's short and sweet. And so that's why we do things like this kind of thing. So, a new address. And so if you want to, one of the things that we really like to do is if you want people to click and go find more information, like if you're sending out an email that says, hey, just want to touch base really quick, I was thinking about you. And by the way, that's one of the things that you can use that we found in whether you're speaking with somebody or you send it in an email. I was thinking about you. Hey, I was driving down the road the other day thinking about you. And they're going, really? You thought about me? Well, that's sweet. That's nice. And now they're leaning in exactly what you want to do. You don't want to say that every time because then it loses its effectiveness. But hey, just wanted to let you know we moved to the Caribbean. Our new address is one of the things that we like to do is you click on this to edit it. But let's say that we're typing it and creating it. Our new address is, I can create a link. I can go, let's say that this is my address. Let's say I moved to the Caribbean and I moved to this resort. I can put that in here. Okay, and now when I save it, when I send it out, they're going to, our new address is this, just click, and come on over. So now when people get that link is going to be, it's going to link to exactly right here. So they're going to be able to see how to get to my new address. So, or if you go, hey, I saw something, it was really funny. It's an article that I saw. I posted on my website, but I thought of you when I put it there. Here's a link to it. So you can do that. You can link to other places. And that way it's just short and sweet. And if they want to, instead of putting everything there, instead of leaving nothing to the imagination, instead of they just go, oh, that's what it is. No, you know what? If you get them active, put a link there. Now, if you want to do something like place a picture, let's say that I'm sending something to banks, and this is probably going to be completely inappropriate. But let's just say, but you know what? I'm inappropriate a lot. This is not probably something I often duplicate those. If I wanted to, hey, probably not going to make, but I can, whoop, funny images. Now, if you're going to use an image from somewhere, this is just an example. I see it's copywritten probably. So don't steal copywritten stuff, but I'm just showing you how to put art in here. So I can paste that in. Obviously that's big, but I like mixing it up. I like doing, like if I'm sending out to a different folks. So now it's just very sweet, and now a banker gets this, and he says, "Ha ha, very funny, blah blah blah. Talk soon, John." So now I can send that to all my banker friends, or just something that's cute and sweet, and they go, "Ah, that was funny." So now this is the kind of stuff that we find gets impact, because that's what you want. You get impact. It's creative. You get remembered. And it's like, oh, who does this kind of stuff? It's the creative stuff that gets you remembered. You don't have to go this far, but I once sent 3 live sheep to a big corporate office, and it ended up to be a big hit. I mean, literally. I seriously, I sent 3 live sheep. I found a place it was a nonprofit for $300. It were 2 or 3 sheep. They dressed them up in ribbons and bows, brought them right to the front door. Security tracked the guy down that I'd sent them to. Of course, they didn't let the sheep in the building. Took him, interrupted a meeting, pulled him out, said, and then told him later, you can't bring barnyard animals into the office. This is God's truth. And what happened is the thing went viral, and he's now known around the whole, this is a global company, high security at the building. It was a big deal. They sent pictures. Now I'm known as, I became well known at this company all over the planet because I'm the guy who sent sheep. And the guy who received them also became very well known by everybody as somebody who builds great rapport and relationship with his clients. Well, I didn't send him as I sent him sheep because I thought he was trying to screw me on a deal. But that's a whole other story. It was taken in a funny sort of spirit. But I'm known by everybody now, and will be probably for the rest of time there. And you don't have to send live sheep, but be creative, be cool, be different. And I mean, what I sent them to is, again, it's a financial. I mean, it was a big deal. But it was like, oh my goodness, this is off from left field. You don't have to be that creative, but at least be different from the crowd. Be different from the thousands of things that you can't even remember seeing. But people spent a lot of time, energy, and effort doing it. When something cute and sweet and kind of off the cuff, and like, hey, I was just thinking about you, gets remembered so much more and gets the impact. And people don't delete it. Like if you send a newsletter, I got one the other day from a woman that she's in the clothing business. And it's just a standard crap that she sends to everybody. And it's like, you know what, delete. I was thinking about even hitting unsubscribe. And that's not what you want. But if she sends me something cute like this, she would have had to take less time setting it up. I would have responded better because I was like, that's pretty funny. I probably would have bought more because I thought better of her. But now I don't even want to talk to her. I don't even want to see her. Because I don't like the way she does things. But this kind of thing we found really works well. So that's creative advertising, and that's creative contact. And that's also how you put little cartoons or little messages or little graphics in your email. You can also, by the way, you could have, where is it? Where am I looking for? Oh, jeez, right there. You could go into your basically library of images, and you can put images in there that you can find for a later date, like this one that I used. Like I could put this one in there. If you love Porsche and you'll love Connect, I can send that out. I can get rid of that pretty easy too. Oop. And be back to Nordum. So, and by the way, to get images in there into your little server library, you can take an image and from wherever, like something you took a picture with your camera, put it in your desktop, put it over there, and it's easy to have a whole folder of these things to use for a later date. I could put I could put this one over in there and then use it again and again. So it's easy to do and easy to send, and it's pretty cool and get you remembered. Thanks. Talk to you soon.